Learning to appreciate what is yours is truly a gift. But it's a lesson that we don't often learn very willingly. In fact, more often than not, we fight it with the vigor of a young child who's fighting sleep for fear that they might miss out on whatever is going on. I've learned this lesson frequently and very painfully on some occasions over the past 6 or so years. Yes, you see, that's how long it's been since my very first Engage talk, that epic one. It's been 6 years. And I don't want to be too arrogant as to assume that you've all watched it, but I'm just going to say this. Go and watch it. Go and watch it. So I, in this period, declared myself open for all these experiences. And I said, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to be open, I'm going to just be available as I await the encounter of my permanent meanwhile. I'll be open. And one day I was having a very interesting but strange conversation with somebody I really, really liked. And we were just sharing our dreams and our hopes for the new year and what we're going to do. And he decided right then and there to drop some information. And he said that he had been seriously considering asking me out. And I was like, okay. And then he said, but I didn't, because I would have needed you to stop your performance side of your life, at least until our kids were teenagers. And I went, wow. Wait, we have kids? When did we even become boyfriend and girlfriend? Did I miss all that? When did he propose? When did we get engaged? When did we get married? And when did we have multiple children, pray tell? I was baffled beyond, as you can imagine. And I realized right then and there that we were not on the same frequency at all. And I realized that at the very least, I would want a partner who actually asked me these questions, who engaged me in conversation, waited for my answer, instead of deciding what my answer may be in his head. And so I decided to do what most people do when they're in situations like this and they need wisdom. I prayed, family. I prayed. I prayed with intention. I prayed with fervor. I prayed with the faith of a mustard seed and then some of its relatives. I prayed for what I thought were very specific desired outcomes, because I said things are now getting very serious. My prayer went something like this. Aki God, surely, what valley of the shadow of character development is this that I am walking through? Where these smiling individuals are just there in my life, but they have little or no intention of anything serious or permanent or long-term. Why is it that they're so comfortable, Lord, to just enjoy this temporary, guilt-free enjoyment with me? I never even got the memo. But God, as a daughter of the Most High, imagine this is not my portion, I refuse. And so since my spirit of discernment has suffered a temporary malfunction, I humbly ask, Father, that if any of these smiling individuals are not for me, if they are not meant to be in my life, please remove them. Keep them alive, please, but remove them in a way that is clear and definitive, so that I also get the message and that I don't try and reintroduce them into my life or interfere with your great work. So help me, God, amen. It went something like that. And now the hard part came. Let go and let God. So in this period, I was thriving, pre-COVID, barely surviving like most of us during COVID, and re-strategizing and reinventing myself post-COVID. So I want to share some of the experiences I went through, if you'll allow me. Can I share some of them with you? All right, so smiling character number 1. You two are boys. You've known each other for almost 2 decades. You know his family, you know his friends, you know his stories, you know the girlfriends and the drama. you're so comfortable. He doesn't even like hide his dirty linen when you go to visit anymore. You're so comfortable. And eventually, he becomes a holder of hands and an opener of doors. And the one who looks at you when you're talking like nobody else exists in the room. And you're a bit confused for a few minutes. It's these little things that confuse us more than the big ones, actually, FYI. So soon my friends start noticing as well, and they start winking at me like, this is the one, maybe, huh? And dropping less than subtle hints that maybe, perhaps, this could be a good thing. And of course, I think about it and I go, well, we're already friends. So, this might be nice. It's this nice added layer on top. I mean, what more could one want? Okay, note to self, this is the real thing. This is the real thing, and in fact, his folks already love me, so it's just a matter of time. Smiley character number 2. We met at a wedding. He was one of the groomsmen, and I was singing. And then later on that evening, at the evening party, we met on the dance floor, and we were both determined to outdance the other. And this dancing thing is a really special form of communication. You should try it. And the communication was clear, or at least I thought it was. But then it became evident as the dancing continued and the conversations continued that the message was clear, yes, but our clarity was on 2 different things. You see, this one was on a break from his girlfriend, which I then realized is not the same as he has broken up with his girlfriend. Please tell your neighbor, it is not the same thing. Tell the other neighbor, it is not the same thing. And I should have noticed something was off there, but who is June? We continue. We move. And after a while, I realized this one is the quiet type. He's very principled. He goes for mass. He's resourceful and he's very disciplined with his money. And he helps his parents over the weekends. These are such great qualities, such attractive qualities. So note to self, this is the one. This is the one, and in fact, we can even pray the rosary together. How amazing will this be? Smiley character number 3. Whew. This one. This one with the eyes that hypnotize. Where? I would be out doing my monthly shopping or fueling my car, and he would find me. He would track me down like Jack Bauer, And he would show up, and he would discreetly pay the bill, and then he would chat with me a little bit and walk me to my car, help me put my things in, and then he would kiss me on the forehead, and then he would leave. Mayo, what sorcery is this now? What is this? He left. And I heard the powers that be discussing this kiss on the forehead. Ladies, let's be honest. All our logic, all our common sense disappears forthwith. It's just extracted. You guys know what you're doing when you do that kind of mwah over here. This thing happened to me. I was completely charmed. He was such a charmer. Such a charmer. And then I noticed that I'm not the only one who is giggling and, drawing little Africas on the ground. My friends were also giggling the same way. My mother, my goodness, my mother was taken. My aunties, and even just some bystanders who just happened to hear him or see him, they were all suffering the same symptoms that I was. And I thought to myself, note to self, this is the one the novels have been telling us about for all our lives. I mean, he has such, freeness, freedom when he shows his romantic displays of affection for me. That means he's telling the world about his love for me, and that means he is the one. Note to self. Smiley, smiley character number 4. I've been busy, y'all. Because I need to prove to you that I actually left the bus stop on a few occasions. I've not just been chilling there. Smiley, smiley character number 4. This one was the intellectual one, through and through. He would write long messages on WhatsApp, the ones you can print and highlight, Long messages on text and on email. And even when we were on the phone talking, there would be long pauses. Perhaps for effect. I still don't know to date. He really enhanced my relationship with Google because I had to check what some of the expressions he would use meant. We were on speed dial with Google. And I thought, I'm learning so much from this guy. Expressions I've never had. This even biblically, the man should lead, yes? He should teach us things. And I thought to myself, this one. We're already so comfortable with this silence, so I can see, note to self, I can see us on the porch at the age of 80 just smiling at each other. With long silences, pregnant silences. And I thought, this is the one. Now, as I stand here this evening, all of these smiley, smiley characters, tell your neighbor all. All of them have since walked down the aisle with women who are not me. Oh, Atio, okay. And every time the news of an impending nuptial or even an invitation to attend said wedding would arrive, I'm human. Of course, it felt unpleasant. It hurt. And I thought, hey, I really have to question myself and my choices because what is the message that I am missing? But the truth is, my prayer was answered, wasn't it? I asked God to show me a clear and definitive way, when they still remain alive, of removing them from my lives. So my prayer was answered. My assessment, however, is that I could have been more specific. I thought I was specific at the beginning, at the outset, but I was not, because I should have included a very critical element of time frame. I should have told God, please answer this prayer promptly. Because why it had to take 6 years, only God knows. And the truth is, he operates on his time, not ours. But the reality is, none of them were for me. And maybe what they did was clear the way, open the path so that whoever is out there can actually now see me. But also, I have no regret and I don't harbor any ill feeling. And here's why. Because all of these smiling characters have taught me so much about myself, my capacity to love, my capacity to be open, which I was doubting for a few minutes there. And it taught me that there's still work to be done. There's still wonderful people to meet. And so if you recognize yourself in any of these smiley characters, male or female, and you're in this space tonight, imagine just do better. Do better. Be honest with the people that you're having these conversations with. I think people are very resilient. If you tell them the truth, they can actually handle it, right? So try and save yourself the loss of the friendship and the broken hearts that you may cause, or the cracked hearts that you may cause. Yeah, I sometimes mourn the friendships that may never be salvaged. I really think that if I had alighted from that particular bus of the one who taught me the lesson about broken up with and on a break, then maybe I would not have been having conversations about imaginary preteens with a certain someone. Maybe then that conversation would never have happened. But we also learn lessons in our own time when we're not fighting like that young child fighting sleep. So here's the message, I guess. Square pegs will never fit in a round hole. And so keep your spirit open, keep your hearts open, have these experiences by all means. And I think somewhere out there you will find your own square hole. But you have to be open and you have to be willing to recognize when that particular bus is not yours. I've been on tour. So take it from me with all my authority and my experience, because I will always share it. You will find your square hole. Thank you. Can I go? Can I go? Thank you.